Hi! Welcome back! Or welcome if you're new here. My name is Vanessa. And I'm going to pull some cards for you guys on this Taurus New Moon. Happy New Moon in Taurus. Happy birthday if you're a sun sign Taurus. I love me a moon sign Taurus. Taurus rising. Venus in Taurus. Venus in her home sign in Taurus. Anyway, the sun is in Taurus, the moon is in Taurus today. So we're definitely diving into some Tauran themes. If you're familiar with your birth chart, refresh yourself and see where exactly in that circular chart, if you know or are familiar with the circle chart. If you're not familiar with the circle chart, just look at your list out. A lot of times I understand on apps like that's where people go to. Anyway, just see where Taurus lands in your chart. Which house or houses does the sign of Taurus occupy? Because it's usually more than just one, unless you're using whole house, which, sorry, that's just my personal opinion about whole house. Placidus is most commonly used. Regiomontanus, Coke, whatever. That's really like out there and advanced. Just go ahead and see. What does it say that you, like, what's happening in your chart? Where do you have Taurus in your chart? That's why I like to guide people to look at the actual circle chart rather than the list. Because if you look at the list, and let's say you don't have any of your like luminaries or you don't have any planets or asteroids or point of interest occupying Taurus, it just won't, it'll tell you that you just don't have Taurus in your chart. And you, like many of us, will believe for a very long time that you in fact have no Taurus in your chart, which is a lie. It's a fat lie. It's a big old fat lie. I do read Divine Feminine Asteroids, which is a whole nether level that some apps will let you see, but a lot don't even show them. So if you're interested, you could book a session with me. I read birth charts. It's my jam. That being said, welcome to your New Moon in Taurus reading. My name is Vanessa. I've been out for a while. If you've noticed or if you've not, doesn't really matter because these are all timeless. And I'm back. And since we're diving into, I've got some fun, sassy energy today. I like it. It's like, I feel like you're feeling good. Whoever I'm talking to, or that if you want to feel good, this video might help you see the good, juicy things happening in your life. Because we just made it through eclipse season, and wow, whoa, the revelations. Also with all the retrogrades, honey, if you're anything like me, I do have a lot of Taurus in my chart. You have been kind of feeling like you're about to quantum leap, or you already have quantum leapt, and you're waiting for the physical 3D reality to like show up around you, mirroring what you know is true inside. Oh, that's a lot of, this is a lot already, but I'm loving it. I love the energy Taurus. And anyone who's watching this. This is for anyone, obviously. Okay, so I did pull out some cards on a deck that I made recently. It's just like kind of a self-care deck. And the cards that I got are like walk through a garden, work with essential oils. So I'm definitely getting a lot of like flower energy, very Tauran theme, herbs, trees, and I think the last one is resins like myrrh or frankincense. But working with essential oils or just working with more plant energy is literally like they came out in these cards. I just pulled 4 of these cards. Another one is socialize. Maybe that's kind of like the fun flirt. I'm getting like flirty vibes. Like I feel flirty right now. Cool. I don't think I felt flirty in a hot minute, but, and then the last one that I got was read for inspiration. Very cool. Very, very cool. Okay, so we're gonna just keep going here. Let's tune in. What is the energy for this Taurus new moon for those that are vibing with this and that are here still? I really appreciate you guys, especially all of you who have subscribed, who like my videos. You guys are gems. And those of you who leave really positive comments, like, I just adore you. If you leave a comment and there's anything that's like just not necessary or not positive or helpful in any real way, like, I'm just gonna let it be, you know? So just so you know. But I do really appreciate when you guys leave like really genuinely helpful, positive comments. It's really cool. And it does help this channel grow, and I just really appreciate you all being here. So a lot of appreciation, which is also a Tauran theme. Second house energy, okay? This is like your value is increasing, your, God, all this like Venus energy, Venusian energy, beauty, appreciation, value, love, flirtation, also, like, just gentleness, feminine flow, going with the flow, but with that being really grounded as well. And you might be seeing literally like your money appreciation go up at this time. Especially if any of you do look at your circle chart and you see that Taurus and this new moon landed in your second house. I'm looking from my perspective, so it would be over here. If this Taurus new moon falls in your second house, it's an incredible like fresh start or new beginning kind of cycle again energy with money and value. That would be if you're a Pisces or a Taurus rising, if you don't use whole house, okay? Wow. So this, the energy just feels really beautiful. It feels flirty. I feel like you see yourself and you see your value in a way that it's not like you didn't value, it's not like you purposefully undervalued yourself in the past. However, now it's like you see so many things in such a new way and a fresh lens. New perspective. Maybe you've had some mirroring. You've seen some other people behave in ways where you're like, ooh, maybe that's what it's looked like. Like, oh, I have not been valuing myself as highly as I thought I did. Like, you could have a lot of confidence, but you could also be kind of stuck in this spiral of like needing to take time to heal. When we do go through a lot of healing, it can be really hard to kind of like step up and out and be there for others or show up. And I feel like you've gone through a period of healing. Like this past 6 months is just a portion of a bigger cycle that could be like a decade long, could be longer, could be shorter, but there's been a lot of work that you've done. And I see you you've cultivated your garden. You're growing many things. That's a lot. That's a lot. Let's get into cards. Thank you. Wondrous universe. Walk in beauty. So that's all it says. Walk in beauty. We've got Saturn here in the right hand, in the masculine hand. So also paying attention to things that you want to commit yourself to, ways that you want to add more structure, ways that you want to advance. Saturn is one of the original titans and gods, and Saturn gave birth to Jupiter. Now, it's said that in Greek mythology and Roman mythology, because Greek mythology comes first, the Romans refined the Greeks' viewpoints on everything. And Jupiter, who is Zeus, Saturn is Kronos. I need to look at my notes. It's been a few months. I haven't spoken about any of this in a while, so forgive me if I misspeak or if I'm a little rusty. However, Jupiter is the son of Saturn, And it's interesting here that I'm seeing this wizard holding Saturn in that masculine hand, because it's reminding me of the mythology that Jupiter actually overruled Saturn, like literally kicked. Like this is kind of how, at least one of the main mythology books that I'm reading, how she puts it, that Jupiter kicked Saturn off Saturn's throne. Like, hey, Dad, get off the throne early. I'm taking over, kind of deal. And when that happened, according to Roman mythology, Saturn fled to Italy. From Greece, Saturn went to Italy. And with that brought in the golden age, golden era, the golden age. It was Saturn is very beloved in Roman mythology. There's something about you leaving behind things, and maybe not in like such a, like you could have felt like you're kind of being kicked out, or like the energy is kicking you out of something. And this could be something you're actually very aware of and wanting to go towards. There's almost like 11:11 on the clock. There's almost this, it's like help. It's assistance, but it's kind of almost like the universe pushing you in a new direction that is going to help you to even further refine yourself, even further add value, because you're committed to yourself now. These are Saturn themes: commitment, authority, being your own authority, structure, adding more structure to your life, and being able to advance, climb the ladder, bring new ideas down into the earth, because Saturn is the traditional ruler of Aquarius and the modern day ruler of Capricorn. So if you have a lot of Aquarius in your chart, if you have a lot of Capricorn in your chart, or also you can look at those things too in your chart and see like where those land. If there are any connections being tied there for you, that's just a hyper specific message for someone in particular. It's not going to resonate with everybody. However, this is tying in with this Venus energy that I'm getting, this walk in beauty. And you really can do that as you begin to create more structure for yourself. I just feel like there's this whole like rebirth energy and an ending of an old cycle, and you're taking a lot of wisdom with you. You've really grown, whoever I'm talking to. And it's really beautiful. And then on the bottom of the deck, we have rainbow blessings. So you're definitely moving. Blessings are showering your life. You're really moving. And look at the flowers there. So you're really, and grace and gratitude at the bottom of the deck. And I'm sorry I keep saying this phrase over and over again, because I sound like a record player, broken record. You could be listening to a lot more music recently as well. Maybe turning off like television or news or distractions visually, and really working on your ears and music, and really appreciating the beauty around you in that way as well. And then there are flowers in here too. So that's kind of for me just further validation. What I'm talking about with like, maybe it'd be good for you to go walk around in a garden, to spend time near more nature. And especially I'm getting a lot of flowers. When it comes to the essential oils, flowers specifically, oils of flowers, are supposed to help you with your beauty and like your skin and appearance. Ylang ylang. Rose. There's a lot of flowers. I don't need to name them all for you. But maybe you need to bring some more flower energy in. Flower power I'm getting. We're also going to look at some angel messages, and then I'm going to dive into tarot. So I want to know like more about this, please, Spirit. This Taurus, this flowering energy, this budding. I'm seeing you blossoming now as well. Blooms, new fresh blooms everywhere. Sever vows of poverty. Dear one, there's no need to suffer or sacrifice. Hold the intention of undoing any vows of poverty or self-denial that you have made, consciously or unconsciously, in any lifetime. As you do so, All effects of these vows will be undone for everyone involved in all directions of time. Yeah, that's really powerful. So that's another thing, that's kind of another validation then, that your money is increasing, or your self-worth at the very least is increasing. And usually with that and clarity and purpose and service, you are bound to be bringing in a lot more monetary appreciation as well. And it says, do the work on the bottom of the deck. Okay. I feel like I'm talking again to my collective who is doing a lot of work on themselves. There's two pretty even parts to the collective. And I have to say we're mirroring each other, guys, because my videos, the messages seem to kind of alternate between this vibe, which I love, which is very like, you are sovereign. You are your own person with your own ideas and your own value that you have innately and that you know you can bring and share with the world. And so there's all this like, yes, kind of like badass, like I'm making things happen for me. And a lot of self-mastery, a lot of wisdom, a lot of beauty, a lot of appreciation. And then I also have a lot of videos on this channel that are about like all these other people around, not saying everybody else, but specific characters kind of in this story that see this happening for you. And I'm not trying to bring this energy into this reading. I'm just making a very clear observation, Spirit, that thank you, unless we need to talk about it. Let's stay on this vibe. But seriously, you're also really learning how to protect your energy and how to kind of work in silence, which is pretty cool. Because this is what, like, we're mirroring. We're mirroring each other, baby. Okay? So, let's keep going. We're going to get into tarot now. This is the traditional Rider-Waite tarot deck, my little mini deck. Let me just clear it first and let it some close on too. Yeah, overall, like, I don't know what you guys are up to, but it's very empowering. And you could have recently started reading more for inspiration. I see you like turning off visual distractions and tuning more into sounds. For some of you, it could be smells as well. Like you could be doing a lot more cooking, like recipes, focusing on your nutrition, focusing on your health. I lost my train of thought. It's fine. It happens when you just say things because they come through and you're like, wait, what am I talking about here? But I see you guys just... Huh. And that might be why the socialized card came out. Because I'm seeing, it's interesting too, I'm seeing different individuals in different scenes. And like I see someone in a kitchen cooking this like beautiful meal for themselves. It's very, very nutritious and like life-giving. And then I see someone else kind of working quietly at their desk on a project. And then I saw someone like outside in their garden, working in their garden. And I'm just seeing these different flashes, like Spirit showing me these different visuals. Spirit showing me different visuals of people working in silence and solitude, but feeling incredibly peaceful. I'm not getting that there's so much a loneliness because what you're doing is so inspiring to you and empowering, and it like lights you up while also relaxing you at the same time, if that's possible, which it is. And then it's like the last video. Now I'm seeing each of those people, especially the one in the garden, I see the light coming in. And it's literally the same as that last video. And I did timestamp it if you want to watch back and just look at the Qigong visualization meditation part. I don't go through the whole meditation, but I do give a view. I give a visual for you guys as to what I'm seeing. And it's about pulling your power back into you. There's a helicopter flying overhead right now. It's really magnificent energy. I want to say I feel really happy for you. I feel really proud of you, like without trying to sound patronizing. It's just kind of this calm, cool, collected, and you have a lot that you need to get done and want to get done in this realm. But it's also mirroring into like your everyday life tasks too. Like you're handling things with much more intentionality than you have before. And breath work being something that you could have been just recently doing. Guess that's a message for me. I don't like doing breath work. I love the way it feels afterwards, but let's get into the tarot. Can we clarify? Thank you, Spirit. For my collective here on YouTube. I love you guys. I'm so stoked that I'm doing all of this. There's also something that I think you're congratulating yourself on that you had an intuitive hit about years ago. A long time ago. To start learning how to do something in particular. And you were like, it had an inkling at the time that it could be turned into something really valuable for yourself in the future. But there wasn't necessarily pressure on that needing to be. There wasn't really like the vision of that needing to be. And now, fast forward a few years to where we are here, and I see you going like, I knew I needed to learn that. And now it's coming in handy. Like, it's great energy, guys. All right, let's go. What's going on here? I mean, clearly, we're on to some things. Thank you. Ooh, Death in Reverse. Continuations of certain cycles. Okay, and moving forward, but silently. I think you're also understanding there's never truly an end to a cycle, because a cycle is a circle. And there's no true beginning or ending in a circle. It's a cycle. They loop. They keep going. And so I see that you've realized that there's 23:23 on the clock. I see that you're realizing that things that maybe in the past you were like, I'm ready for this to be done with. And it ended. And then like you saw the cycle reappear over time. And you've gotten more comfortable. And this is important too. If you are a person who's looking at a new moon, let's take this new moon reading for a perfect example of this, because this was me 15 years ago when I was like really, really starting to dive back into astrology, because I started learning when I was 7. My mom would argue 4, but I remember I was like 7 when I started. I re-entered into astrology at 26 years old, and I just turned 40, guys. So I'm seeing people at different timelines learning different things. And the new moon bit is, if you're the type of person right now in your understanding of what a new moon means for you, and you go and you do all the looking at your chart and you're like, okay, this new moon in Taurus is in my 7th house. So this is the new moon for my love and relationship to my person's coming now. and you put all this kind of pressure on it to happen, and then months pass and that person's nowhere in sight, and you're like, astrology sucks. It's bullshit. You're gonna come up on that exact same new moon in that house. You're gonna come up with a new moon in that house every year to every other year. That cycle is going to repeat so many times. There's so many opportunities. So if you're thinking right now, this new moon in Taurus reading, that, you know, all the eggs are in the basket in this one area of your life, and this is the new moon that it's in, and it's going to happen now, and things don't, or if you've felt that way in the past, it's okay. Like, don't put that crazy amount of pressure on yourself, because as more time passes, you will see how it actually brought it. Like, you were able to plant seeds at that new moon in the past, but it might take some time to grow. There's so much garden theme here, and I love it. I love it. Love it. I just did a lot of weeding. I left the nasturtiums that were growing wild amongst the weeds. I left the nasturtiums. And then there was a bunch of dirt. And I had 3 different types of flower seeds that I planted. Bachelor buttons, love. Marigolds, love. Both of which are edible. Cool. And some other kind that I can't think of at the moment. These seeds I have planted before. They only take a few weeks to germinate and start producing flowers. Just a few weeks. However, there are certain plants like lavender that if you plant from seed, it will be at least 2, if not 3 years before that plant begins to actually flower. So every seed that we plant does create its own kind of thing, right? Like, you can't plant an acorn and expect a rose to grow from it. It's not going to work that way. I think you know that, okay? But the amount of time, the germination period, the gestation period is different for everything. And so you could plant a seed today on this Taurus new moon, and it might show the fruit of its blah, 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 labor or blossom tree, whatever, like 10 years from now. And I don't say that to discourage you. I see that you understand now that when a cycle ends, it doesn't truly end. And that's important for somebody. And so I think you are getting a better idea of time, and time on a quantum level, and time here in this 3D experience that we're experiencing. And you're beginning to discern a lot more. And you're able to, I'm seeing this enabling you to kind of work your magic in some new ways. So I see you moving forward. You got the Chariot with the 8 of Wands in reverse, but you're doing it silently. Moving forward for the Taurus New Moon and the collective here with me today. Whoa, Sun in reverse. Can you clarify the Sun in reverse, please? Thank you. The 8 of Cups. Whoa. Whoa. Some of you could be moving. Some of you are moving. You're moving forward. You're staying kind of quiet about it. I think you know it might bring a little bit of sadness or upset to someone on an emotional level, because I see you walking away. And I see that there's a little bit of a gloominess left from it. And the part for you where it could be, you could feel like a nostalgia or like a mourning of closing out an ending. My neighbors are moving, and I can see into all of their windows for the first time because everything's up and it's just empty in there. And all day I've been like, I'm so excited for them. Like the energy of moving and this fresh start. And so some of you are moving. Advice, please, Spirit. Thank you. Thank you. There's this sigh of relief. There's this empowerment. Maybe you have room to grow a garden now. Maybe you know you're moving and the place you're currently in has a great garden, so you're really just appreciating the plant life that you have and coming up with refined ideas as you move forward and going like, ooh, I know, I'm going to do this again, but different. It's going to be even better. We have the Lovers. Okay. Well, a little love action. Make the choice, right? There's a lot of flirty energy, and some of you could be moving in with someone. I do see you moving away from someone though, too. So I'd be kind of surprised if I'm talking to someone who's like just broken up with someone they live with and moving right in with someone else that they're dating. It's kind of quick, right? But I'm not judging. It's on my life. However, I do see you moving into a new space that allows for a lot more love. Wow, and someone is upset about it. Like, they're sad, but they wouldn't let you know that. They would not want to show that they're hurt or upset by this. There's something about their pride or wanting to act like they're super supportive, which is better than them just acting like they're straight up not supportive. However, they're like kind of lying a bit about how sad this is making them. This whole like you leaving and going towards something that could actually be like really good for you. But your advice is the Lovers. Your advice is to make this decision, to move forward, even if it makes someone sad, because this person, this cycle, it's like it needed to end, right? But with that, like, be careful you're not just spiritually bypassing, I'm hearing, bypassing the lesson so that you recreate the same experience again with someone else. So to make sure you're not just hopping ship from someone to someone else. There's a bit of a warning there for someone if that's there. I keep making these faces because, like, I personally could not do that. I once in my life allowed myself. This is the past 2 relationships I was in. This was 6-7 years ago. Because I would never go from one relationship straight into another one. And I went through a relationship where I thought they were the one we were going to get married, and they broke up with me. Pretty sure they cheated on me. And then another 6-year cycle went by, and I dated a good friend who I thought would never hurt me. And I thought that was it. This is my early 30s. And I thought for sure this person was my forever and my future. And they were like, oh, my ex is moving back into town. And I was like, oh, huge red flag. I broke up with them, but I was very heartbroken about it. We still kind of like got back together. Similar behaviors were still happening. And I kid you not, the thing that made me break up with him for real was, this sounds so weird, but like feng shui, it's a thing. He had his bed so that each one of us had our own side that we could get to, and he shoved his bed in his room against the wall so that there's only one access point. And in feng shui, if you want a relationship and you're single, it's recommended that you move your bed so that both people, like if you're trying to call in your person, that you have your side of the bed that you can access, and they would have the other side of the bed that they could access easily too. So when he did that, I was like, we're done. He was like, are you kidding? Because I moved my bed. And I was like, yes. Like it was, don't come at me in the comments, please. But how stupid it was. I kid you not. My intuition was like, it's just more red flags. Like, get out of this. And I see you're in red flags. You've been in red flags. You're like, I see the red flags. I was undervaluing myself. I want to grow a beautiful garden, and damn it, I'm going to, right? This is where you're at. I had met someone else at the same time that we broke up the first time. And this person was much younger than me, 10 years younger than me. So I also traditionally would think to myself that I would never date someone that much younger than me. But I was kind of in this whole like, F it. That has worked out so far, and this person's awesome. And I got right into a relationship with them. And it didn't last more than like 9 months. However, I have to say, it was the most healing relationship I've ever been in, with the most mature and disciplined human being who was like 12, 13 years younger than my ex-boyfriend that I had just broken up with. Like it boggled my mind. And so that's some fun story time that was maybe a little unnecessary, but I hope you enjoyed it. And that's what I'm feeling. Like, you don't want to go straight into another cycle if that's kind of your process. Like, I know people who go straight from a relationship straight into another relationship, and then that one ends, they go straight into another relationship. And I kid you not, I do know some people who, like, I can't even think of a time where they've been single, and I'm just like, probably need to spend some time alone. Probably need to spend some time learning some lessons and, like, doing some deep self-reflection, you know? And that's what I see that you've been doing. So for the majority of you, I'm not saying that you're just going straight into, like, some other house living situation with some new person, but I see you really taking the time to assess, to reevaluate, to see where you've been undervaluing yourself in the past, to kind of like wake yourself up out of that and be like, oh my gosh, I'm going to value myself now. And with it is bringing this energy, this flirtiness, this like calling back in your power. This reading is giving me more of an energy that I am talking to a more feminine collective at this moment. Guys, if you're watching this and you resonate as masculine, this can still apply completely to you. But I am getting this sense of, like, you felt like your energy's been just being drained by this individual in your past for so long. And you didn't even know because you're just so giving. And now you're like, oh, I am so sorry, self. I've been giving all my juju to this schmuck. Sorry, there might not be a schmuck, but just for the fun of it, we'll say that. For some of them, they're more than a schmuck. And you're silently moving forward with this empowerment. I love you guys. Oh my gosh, if this is where you're at right now, like, just put like a turquoise heart in the comments or something, or like, yes, like whatever, but it's my favorite energy. This is like, this is the goal. If I could speak to everybody who, and they're in this energy, yes, 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 yes. As I was talking, the 6 of Cups just flew out on top of the 5 of Cups. So this person that's sad, like you probably have a soul connection with, you know, in that sense, they could be a karmic. And that doesn't mean that there has to be all this turmoil or strife that you have brought up with each other because they're a karmic, because I'm throwing that label on them. It just means that you have karma together from past lives. And the reason why 4114, 4114, the reason why this could have been challenging, or you didn't understand that you were giving so much of your energy away to them, is because you have this deep sense of like past life connection. You feel connected to them because you've shared previous lifetimes together. But it's time to stop juggling. One last card, two last cards here, and we'll wrap it up. Because it just feels so beautiful. This is the goal. Anytime I'm like giving a reading, whether it's a birth chart reading or a card reading, like I want to help you feel empowered. I want you to see your beauty. I want you to know you can refine yourself even if you're feeling like tore up. I've been feeling tore up from the floor up. I don't know why. But for a while. And, you know, you can like enjoy that space for a while. Like I'm seeing like eating like junk food, drinking, smoking, you know, doing the things that are like a bit indulgent, but like too much is just too much at a certain point in time. And so you're like, oh, I was engaging in those behaviors because I just wasn't feeling good about myself. And I was surrounded by energy that wasn't super like, yo, you know, let's go for a walk. Let's get out in the garden. No, they were like kind of encouraging the bad behavior. I don't want to call it bad behavior. I don't want to just put that on there. But, you know, if it's making you feel more negative overall and it's draining you and you're feeling tore up, like it's time to move away from that. And that's what I see you doing. And it could cause a little bit of conflict. There could be a little bit of like, a little bit of a storm before the rainbows, right? Like you only get rainbows after the rain. Unless you're standing by Niagara Falls. Some of you could be in New York, could be going to visit New York. You could be going also on a trip or a journey. Some of you are not necessarily moving. You're like, I'm going to just leave town for a bit. And you might meet someone new. A lot of you are not just going straight into some other relationship at all either. It's that you're clearing a past cycle and you're learning the lesson so that you don't repeat that past cycle again with a new person. You can appreciate that cycle. The flower of life, confirmation burp. Sacred geometry could also be something really helpful for you right now. Overall theme, thank you. Yeah, releasing any burdens. This is what you're currently doing, right? You're not feeling super weighed down yet, but you're also not completely like out of it, or like you haven't like put down the burden entirely. There's still more to this, but I see you setting this burden down for good and moving into your own place. Yes, Bob Marley coming in from the cold. It almost turns this card into my favorite card, even though it's like no one's favorite card. This is no one's favorite card. Who in your right mind would say this is their favorite tarot card? Nobody. But when it's in reverse, I just start hearing the da-na-na-na, da-da-na-na, da-na-na-na, da-na-na-na. It's from Uprising. It's the very first song on that Bob Marley. I will put it in the posts. I have done it before. Every single time I see this card in reverse, I will talk about Bob Marley. Okay. Every single time. Because he says, and this song title is literally Coming In From the Cold. And I see you doing that. This is so beautiful. Happy new moon to you all. I really hope this helps. I'm so excited. I just got like... In the time that I was MIA since the end of February... Hold on. My toe is broken. It's doing way better. But in the time that I was away... I feel like I had like so many revelations and so many beautiful divine ideas come into my head around this channel, around my other channels, and investing in them, and around what exactly I'm doing and like more clarified steps in the process. So I'm really, really excited. I'm so happy to be here. So happy to be reading for you all. You guys literally like there is no stopping us. And the way that I'm feeling this for you. I'm feeling you stepping into this whole next level of yourself, and it feels close, the closest version. It feels like the closest version that you've seen for yourself as like your most like prosperous, healthy, like looking good, feeling good, loving, nurturing or nurtured, like you feel safe, secure, ready to go out and socialize. And I'm really happy for you. I'm like, if this is your story and you like want to claim it, like, yeah, like this video, comment below, subscribe if you're new. But like, this is remarkable. I'm so proud of you. I mean, I laugh because it sounds weird to say I'm proud of you and I'm talking into my phone. But I'm literally like, I feel your guys' energy. And I'm so grateful for you here. So, I will end it there. And I will see you guys in another reading. Yeah. Thank you for being here. If you want your own birth chart reading, you can hit me up. You can email me. And I will be in touch. And I will see you guys soon.